Hi Scorpio, and welcome to this March 2025 bonus reading for the eclipse season. This is a reading for all Scorpio identifying people, as I like to say. If you're drawn to the title of the video or you have Scorpio in various placements, this is for you. I'm not an astrologer, so the astrology here is merely a tool to find a little bit of a deeper connection to the cards, because the cards historically are connected to astrology. So let's see what's going on. We do have eclipse season, which I have to say I always feel very, very strongly, and most people do. It is the cycle of the full moon and new moon, lunar and solar eclipses, in this case in Aries and in Virgo. So on the 14th we do have lunar eclipse in Virgo, and on the 29th, I think, yes, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aries. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Let's see what's coming up for you, Scorpio, at this time. The Six of Swords. All right, this is Mercury in Aquarius. Something from the past. Oh, okay, well, surprise, surprise. The Five of Cups. Six of Swords, Five of Cups. This is very much an indication that we might explore maybe old or stuffed down emotions that now are able to come to the surface through us exploring new knowledge. So we might look into spiritual teachings, maybe psychology, maybe some sort of neurosciences that might help us understand our own disappointments and pains. This is for some reason a strong eclipse season where it's about learning and growth. So for whatever reason, I have this feeling that a lot of people are going to go into new knowledge to understand their situation better. With the Six of Swords, we do have a card of science. Literally, this is the name of the card in the Crowley deck. So we're really going into places which is science that we don't understand, and we're trying to understand better. And I do think it can help us unravel some emotions that have been maybe stuck in a box for some reason. I have that feeling they're kind of stuck in a box in the past that we are now able to unfold and release as well. This is a lot about release, of course, the full moon, especially on the 14th. So release is a big topic here with the eclipses. And yeah, we do have a moon card already tuned in here very strongly. So how do we end this? Okay, 10 of Wands. This could feel like, this is intense because we do have a 10 of Wands and an Ace of Wands. This could feel like a burden being lifted, or even realizing how oppressive emotions can be and how stuffed down emotions can kind of like weigh us down or keep us constrained, or it can be a burden. I think realizing the oppressive nature of emotions that are not processed. And I really do think that is the point here, processing emotions that we're still keeping stored in our maybe physical memory, body memory. It doesn't seem so much like it's a physical thing in the sense of health, because we don't have any coins here, any discs, any earth element. I think it's really more about feeling like some sort of past disappointments might lead us into the temptation of wanting too much. this is what I really strongly feel here. Wanting everything at the same time, maybe proving things to ourselves, proving things to other people. It's a very Scorpio thing. I have no idea why this is such a Scorpio thing, but I do see it so much. That Scorpios are very driven through disappointment and past hurt. Like maybe proving people wrong, proving something to themselves, showing people that they can do something that people might have told them they can't, stuff like that. And therefore really developing an intensity and a drive and an aggressiveness in the pursuit of what they want to do. And sometimes that can become quite restricting when we feel like we're controlled by our desires, and that is the Ten of Wands, being controlled by your desires, and that can really restrict movement. Because with the Ten of Wands, we do have these 2 wands in front of these 8 wands in the back, and the eight wands would be fast movement. So these 2 wands are really holding us back from a more free-flowing, fast movement. So I think what the essence of this reading here for me could be is that we really want to figure out, by processing emotions, by letting things come up, by letting disappointments come up, by letting stored emotions from the past. And I don't think this is something new. I don't think we're dealing with something that's happening right now that is really disappointing to us. It's more like we go into new areas, we learn new things, we open up our horizons. And when we do that, of course, we might encounter new situations that show us some limits as well. And through seeing our own limitations, I think past emotional realities might show themselves again. And with the Ace of Wands, I think we're in the process here of figuring out what we really want. Which way do we really want to go? What are we really passionate about? What are we really motivated to do? What are we really trying to create for ourselves? And where are we driven? In which direction are we driven to start? This is really the initiation. This is the spark. This is the new energy, the new spark coming in to be motivated and activated to do something. Yeah, High Priestess is confirmation. What also intuitively feels like you're drawn to and passionate towards, without it being confining and restricting and oppressive. It's also this idea of maybe our desires being bad for us, or that we are desiring things that are not healthy, it's not so much about health, as I said, physical or mental. It's more like understanding a new space through gaining more consciousness about how our past hurts drive us to perform and maybe to overperform. And learning more about how we can stay motivated and inspired, rather than feeling like the things I want to achieve become a burden. Yeah, I think that wraps it up. All right, let's look at a relationship dynamic. We have, this is Mars in Scorpio. As I said, this Five of Cups energy is Mars in Scorpio. It is very much about the aggressiveness developing out of a deep letting go, and it's intense. It's an intense drive that is fueled through emotion, and it's like a survival instinct. It's a survival mechanism. It's very deep. Also an instinct of survival driving us into new areas that we've never been in before. Six of Swords. This other person, so this is relationships. It doesn't have to be romantic, it can be romantic. This other person, Knight of Swords in the reverse. I don't love it, to be honest. Maybe you're dealing with an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. With the Knight of Swords in the reverse, somebody is like maybe not as open as you wish they would be, maybe not as transparent, or they don't have a certain plan and strategy. It seems like somebody is not very clear in their communication, for sure. Either way, I'm not saying necessarily that they're lying, but with the Knight of Swords, with the speed of how they normally move, it's very fast. So if they don't stand in their truth and say things with the same intensity and speed that they normally move, it can be quite destructive and hurtful in communication. It's all about communication. The Knight of Swords is a very fast moving air energy. And in this deck, it is double air energy. So it's really like somebody is very much in their head, but they are not very clear. You know, it can be quite confusing. So you're here with the Nine of Wands. You do very well understand that. I think you do very well understand what's going on here. What's been going on with this situation or this person. It can also, I mean, it can be as simple as somebody is just not communicating with you, but with the double air, it feels like double air, if it's turned inward, it's also not stagnant. It's just air cannot be stagnant. It's like when you're meditating and you try to think of nothing, that's hardly possible, you know. It's like that would be an analogy, maybe. I think you're very aware of what's going on here, and also of how you've come here with this person. I think you're integrating an experience, or you're moving cautiously out of having experienced a lot of things that brought you to a place where you can really understand situations better. It's again Nine of Wands. In this deck, it's such a, I mean, as you can see, such a funny deck. I just love it so much. We do have this Nine of Wands. And it's about like the magic of experience. And it's this magician, he knows exactly what he's doing. And of course he's not cutting somebody in half, you know, but it is understanding the mysteries that happen behind the box. And what happens behind the box on the outside might not look like what is actually going on in the box. Or what happens behind the box might not look like what we see on the outside. That's what I want to say. And it's interesting that I referred to the box earlier with you. Huh. There it is. Because I was like, put the emotions in a box for some reason, and maybe some emotions are coming up, but you're understanding it. I feel like you're understanding what's happening here, and that something that's happening within is not necessarily what you're showing on the outside, but you're very aware of how you've come here and why things are the way they are. 8 of Swords in the reverse, which is a good thing because we 5 of Wands. The 8 of Swords in the reverse is a good thing because we finally can free ourselves from restrictive thinking or being trapped in a thought pattern or in a dynamic with another person specifically. Maybe a person holding back and not being open and transparent is finally letting you understand what's going on and integrate past experiences. That could very well be the case as well. And with the 5 of Wands, this could be a little bit of a struggle or a conflict, you know, or maybe a measuring of powers, I want to say. It might feel a little bit like a measuring of different powers, but it is quite helpful and fruitful to go through this conflict. So a person not maybe being that transparent, open and communicative self and person might help you to really understand certain things in a dynamic better, and really step out of certain way of thinking. It's very nice. At the same time, there's still, it seems like it's somewhat of a constructive conflict rather than conflict that is not helpful. It seems like it's a conflict that is put into a situation for the sake of being solved. And as we know in relationships, it's not so much about having the conflict, it's more about to develop the skills to have conflict resolution. So this might be part of developing that skill set. Nice. I love it. This is good. Okay, Scorpio. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for you know, your support, and maybe you have the time and the energy to give me a like and a comment and subscribe to this channel. Check out the description box. You find everything in the description box down below, and you can find me on TikTok. I just recently started a TikTok where I upload some shorts and some you know, information and some short videos about maybe, I'm still thinking, I'm actually trying to gather ideas right now. It's more like about learning the tarot and having little snippets of you know, 1-minute videos of explaining the meaning of the tarot cards. So if you're interested in the meaning of the tarot cards, this is a great place to be, to check out my TikTok. And of course I have Instagram. I'm also an artist and a musician, so if you're into that kind of stuff, you can also sign up for my music and art newsletter, and of course my email list for this channel if you're interested in a reading, or if you're interested in all the notifications, all the reminders when I go live, when I upload videos, and so on and so forth. So yeah, thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care and bye.